Welcome in the second video of this tutorial. Now we will link the two pages together. So in the first tutorial, in the first video, we created the item details activity and we already had the main activity. Now let's go back to the XML of these files. So this is the first activity and this is the second activity. Now in order to link the pages together, we should go to the Java file of the first activity, which is this activity. The Java file is called the main activity here, and let's go. So what we want to do first is we want to create the Java buttons. So I will write some comments here, create the buttons in Java. So we will create 5 buttons. We already had 5 buttons here, as we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will create 5 buttons in Java. So let's go again to the main activity here and create these buttons. So simply button, we write button, and then we write the name of the 5 buttons. So let's name them from button 1 to button 5. Button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, and button 5. Again, you can name them whatever you want, but for consistency and for simplicity, we just name them from button 1 to button 5. Now, in order to continue, let's go here below the set content view line. Let's give some spaces here. Actually, we can write the code in two ways. We can write all the code here, or we can create a function initialize. So let's write initialize here. Initialize, it's the name of the function we want to create. So initialize and open and close parentheses, and then add a semicolon. Now let's go down above this curly brace and below this curly brace. So here we add some enters, and then we also write initialize, and when we write initialize here and open and close the brace, we also add a word called void before initialize. Okay, so now the initialize word here is no longer in red. Now, so this is how we write it. This is a function actually in Java, but let's not focus too much about it since we don't have programming background. So just write what I wrote. So write initialize here, and then write void initialize and open and close parentheses here, and then open and close curly braces. Now between the opening and closing the curly braces, we will write our code. So first, let's link the buttons we created above to the XML buttons. So I will write a comment here, link the buttons created in Java here to the buttons already created in the XML file. Actually, you can skip these comments that I'm writing. So I'm just writing them in order to explain what the code does. So you can skip them and not write them. What's important now is to write the code. So in order to link the buttons, we do the following. So let's start with button 1. So button 1 equal find view by ID. Find view by ID. Okay, just make sure that you're writing the code here in the same way I'm writing it. So you have to focus on the capital letters and the small letters. You have to write the same exact things that I'm writing here. So find view by ID, and you open and close parentheses, and then here you write r.id dot. Then you go to the to the XML file of the main activity, and you search for the first button, and then here you search for its ID in the XML. So it's order 1 ID. Okay, so I will take this ID and copy and paste it in the Java file. So r.id.order1id, and it's already there. Okay, Now I will do the same for the rest of the buttons. So I will copy and paste the line above, and I will change here to 3 4 5 2 3 4 5, and then also here I will change the IDs to 2 3 4 and 5 4 and 5. Now make sure the IDs here are all present in the XML file, otherwise your code won't work. So the order 5 ID is here for sure. So if I go to this button, I will see that the ID of this button is order 5 ID, and so on. If I go to this button, its ID would be order 3 ID, and so on. So you have to copy the same exact IDs from here to the Java file and paste them here, each ID to the corresponding button. Now let's do one more thing here. So let's write some more code. So we will also do the same for the 5 buttons. So what we'll do is we'll write button 1. We'll start with button 1 dot set on click listener. Okay, and then we open close parentheses and end with a semicolon. Now between the parentheses, what we do is we write new view dot on click listener. Now if we just write view, you will see the view dot on click listener in the first suggestion. So just enter, okay, and then this code will be written automatically. Now what we want to do here, we want to write the code inside these two curly braces, so between this curly brace and this curly brace. So we want to write the code here. So what we want to write is, we want to write the code that makes us move to the next activity when we tap on the button. So what we do is we just write intent with a capital I, intent I, let's say. Now if this is still in red, just click it here and press Alt Enter and import class, okay, and it will be in white. Okay, so intent I equal new intent, okay, and then you open and close parentheses, and inside the parentheses you write the first parameter, which is main activity, which is the name of this activity, main activity dot this, and then a comma, and then you write the name of the second activity that we're going to, which is here the item detail activity. So you just write the same name of the second activity, which is item detail activity dot class. Okay, now what we want to do is we write start activity, start with S, with a small letter S, activity, and then we write I inside the parentheses. Okay, now this code lets the first button take us to the second page. Now we want to do the same for all the other buttons, so we just copy and paste this code 5 times. So 1 2 3 4, or 4 times, because we already have the first time here. So what we want to do here is we want to change the name of the button for each code. So button 2, button 3, button 4, and button 5. Now if we run our code, okay, let's run the code. So what we'll have here is whenever we click on a button, we'll go to the next activity, which is the detail activity. But now the details for each item are still not displayed. So we will do that in the following 5 minutes. So okay, now let's go back to the code here. Now, so what we'll do is here we will send some data with each with each intent to the next activity in order to display this data. So what do I mean here? Just do the same thing I'm doing. So let's say I want to add some data to the first button. Now, after this line, I just press enter, okay? And what we'll do here, we will add some data to the intent. So we will write I dot put extra, okay? Now what we want to send with each tab is 3 items. We want to send the title of the dish or of the food or the name of the food. We want to send the price and we want to send the photo. So what we do here is first we write the first key, which is title. Okay, now here you don't write the word name. Okay, so please don't get confused here. You don't write the word name. You just open and close these two characters, which are what we write a string inside. Okay, the quotes, the double quotes. So you open, or guillemets in French. So you open and close the double quotes, and then the word name will be written for you. So you don't write it. So what you write here inside the quotes is first the word title, okay, and then you go and add a comma after the quote, and you write here what the name of the first item would be. So what is the name of the first item here? Let's go here. Its name is quiche Lorraine. So let's write quiche Lorraine. Okay. Now, what we want to send also is the price and the name of the photo. So let's continue with the name of the photo. So what we want to send here is the name of the photo. So we write photo here, which is the key, and in the second parameter we copy and paste the first line, and in the first parameter we write photo. In the second parameter we write here, we just remove the double quotes and we write r dot drawable dot, here we add the name of the image we want to display for the quiche Lorraine. So what is the image here? It's called quiche Lorraine, this one. Okay, so it's r.id dot quiche Lorraine, it's here. We write it without the JPEG. Okay, now we sent the photo. We also want to send the price, so I dot put extra. We also write the price here, price. Okay, and then we add double quotes and write inside the price of the first item, which is 8000 LBP. So let's write 8000 LBP. Okay, now we just copy and paste these, and we set the data for the first button. Now we want to do the same for the rest of the buttons, so let's do that. Now we copy and paste these 3 lines, and for each button here we go to button 2, and after this line we just press enter and write the code here. So but we change the values here. So the name of the second item is here is other quiche. So let's write other quiche in the title. Okay, the photo of the second item here is it's called the other quiche. I just added it. So you just import the photo of the other quiche. So I keep photo here, and it's r.drawable.other quiche, and the price is 6000. So I write 6000 here. Okay, let's do the same for the third item. So its name is crab salad. So its name is here crab salad. We change the title to crab salad, and the photo is crab salad. Okay, and the price is 18,000. So it's 18,000. Okay, let's go and continue to the first one, to the fourth one. The title is Chef Salad. Chef Salad. The photo is Chef Salad. Okay, Chef Salad, and the price is 16,000. Okay, and the last one we have the price, the name is Oriental Turkey. It's Oriental Turkey. The photo is Oriental Turkey, Oriental Turkey, and the price is 24,000. Okay, so that's it. Now what we did is we changed, we added the data with each button to be sent to the next page. Now we will, what we'll do in the next video is we will receive the data on the next page and display it accordingly. So see you in the next video.